CHICKEN. Use the code chicken in the shop. CHICKEN.
Guys, the Chickens here, bringing you another Beach video. In today's video, guys, it is the return of the sweaty chicken. We just finished up our first workout in since the beginning of March, I guess, when all this craziness started. So, happy to get back at it. Hope you guys are able to as well, depending on where you live. But what we're getting into today, guys, is we moved up to 5 engine rooms. I'm going to go over my next plan for the next biggest upgrade. Might be a little bit controversial. But first, let's just break down kind of how the attacks go. Sorry, the glasses are fogging up on us a little bit. Just how the attacks go and, yeah, the differences once you get up to 5 engines. So, 5 engines is kind of like back to the basics in terms of Season 11. Basically, what most people are doing is you're going to run heavies and Zukas if you don't have critter cannons and you can't do the critter cannon bullet all Zuka / critter method. Now, there is a couple variances to this, guys. You can throw in a boat or two of Seekers, depending on how the base layout is. Basically, you want to use Seekers. Other than that, it's just free clear with Kavan and second wind. But the times that you want to use Seekers are depending on the base. Like if you can clear some defenses and it leaves a couple engine rooms open. This base, I didn't really feel like it was great to bring them in. What we could have done is cleared some stuff, then have them come in on the left, or maybe even come in on the right here. Probably would have been a better idea, and kind of shocked that since I actually went 3-5 on this base, which I don't really recommend doing because the heavies kind of got obliterated on the right side, and I still took down the base, but it just took a lot more time because I had to wait for the troops on the left to come over and fill in on the right. There wasn't really much of a benefit there. We didn't really get through the base any faster using Zukas, especially if they have rocket launchers. You probably want to bring an extra boat of heavies. So 4-4 heavy Zuka is probably the best, just general free clear. But other than that, using Seekers is going to work well if you can just place a boat or two at a time and put them in like really specific positions to take down the engine rooms. Now you see right there, they actually do go along the wall. All the troops will follow the wall like that, so you just got to be careful and make sure that that you know what you're doing there. I think we take down the engines here. I'm not 100% sure. Let's actually speed this into 4 times. So the Zuka split over there, and then yeah, so they take down the rocket launchers, take down the flamethrower. Luckily, this guy actually failed against our base. You'll see. We'll take this down quickly, and then yeah. So he used Seekers, and he just flopped and. and didn't take down the engine room. So that's basically the idea is you want to use spread out heavies and Zukas. Focus the camera. Spread out heavies and Zukas and just hope that they fail with Seekers. Using Seekers at 5 engines can work, but it's just really tricky. So unless you're super comfortable with it, I wouldn't recommend doing that at all. Okay, so let's talk about the tech tree next. So we have 15 keys, 1.5 million upgrade tokens, and what we're going to be spending this on. Now you see my options here. I could max out shock launchers. I could max out barrage, or we could upgrade and max out bullet, or we could probably do max out shock launchers or barrage and upgrade bullet as well. But what I've decided to do, I'm actually, I think I'm going to go back. Well, first we're going to grab the Doom Cannon because we need this. But I definitely want to make it a point to go back and get rocket launchers because rocket launchers may not be very good against Seekers, and yeah, they won't be very good against Seekers. But if we look what's coming is the cryo bombardiers, right? And this whole season, my strategy has been not to rush forward, just to make sure that we're like kind of cemented in our position for our engine room before moving up too far ahead. Of course, there's stuff that you always want to skip, depending on the path that you take. But I think it's going to be important to get rocket launchers before we get the cryo bombardiers, because the people that have rocket launchers, they're going to have a bit of an advantage. We don't know exactly how much that is yet. But a lot of the top guys are running maxed out rocket launchers. We'll take a look at the global leaderboard. And some of these dudes in Legendary already. Oh my god. They've got the rocket launchers. So they're not upgraded yet. So I mean, I'm looking at it more of a kind of long-term investment, I guess. Because I feel like rocket launchers are going to really come into play towards the end of the season versus right now. And I mean, if global #1 has them, that's basically all of the point that we need. So we see the top 3 guys. The global number 1 has them. Global number 2 doesn't have them, but he was probably rushed and able to just kind of play with the matchmaking there. And then global number 3 does have them maxed out. So this is probably going to be one of the better bases. And he's actually at 5 interim still too. So yeah, basically that's my plan. Is I want to make sure that I'm able to get rocket launchers. Whether I get them before getting the Doom Cannon. Actually, I think I might swap on this. It's going to be kind of up in the air what's better, the Doom Cannon or the Laser Beam. Because if you have the gems to switch them out, I would probably go with the Laser Beam first. Just because we're seeing so much heavy in Zuka, and the Zukas don't have a ton of troop health. I keep doing that because it focuses the camera in a little bit. It's getting a little bit fuzzy. Doesn't matter. I would go Laser Beam now, and then once bombers start running rampant, then I would probably switch to Doom Cannon, and it's just gonna be able to take out more heavies and make it a little bit harder for the bombers to just get through. A Laser Beam rank 2 isn't gonna do enough damage to bombers. It's barely enough to deal with the Zukas, so I wouldn't worry about that for right now. So that being said, let's get into some attacks here and see if we can make this work. We're in kind of a bad spot right now. I don't really want to push. That's kind of why I was yammering on for the video, because I don't really want to push right now. It's not like a great time, but for anyone that's stuck in you know, kind of where we are, not that we're stuck, but it's just not really an efficient time to be pushing. We'll show you that what we've been doing. So I tried out 3-5. I don't like it. We're gonna go back to 4-4, and actually what I'm gonna do here is, instead of a 4th boat of Zukas, I'm actually going to bring out a boat of Seekers. And we're going to go like this. So what do we have here? We don't have any shock launchers. Actually, this base could be, we could probably take it down with just Seekers, actually. Because it doesn't have shocks, it doesn't have rockets, he actually doesn't have flamethrowers. So let's actually switch to all Seekers. And we'll bring out Mr. Bullet and Taunt. Okay, that's what we wanted. So now we're going to throw up Bullet just kind of, I don't know, in the center somewhere. And we'll use a barrage over here, and then we'll use one here and one here. It didn't go down, and one there. Okay, so now we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I probably waited a little bit too long on the drop. I think I actually threw 3 boats on the left and 5 boats on the right by mistake. But that's okay. So we're gonna taunt there. And yeah, I think Seekers was definitely the right choice here. Now, what we got to be careful of is this Doom Cannon. Because the Doom Cannon obviously does splash damage to those of us that are paying attention. But not everyone is going to be paying attention, right? Okay, so let's go 1, 2. This is a really long Seeker attack. I split them up really badly, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. Okay, we got a shock there. Let's throw a shock onto this machine gun. You see how they hug the wall like that? It's so dumb, but it's just how they work. Okay, so we were able to get all 5 engines down pretty easily. So I mean, yeah, like, don't get locked into something. You always got to read the base and see what's available. I screwed it. That was the really bad Seeker attack. We could have easily done that 320 plus if we were paying a little bit more attention. But yeah, let's see how Lower Supple is doing on our base. 230. That's going to be a victory for Chicken, and he was actually using the Critter Cannon and Zuka strategy. So this. What he's doing is just to clear all the engines on the base. I mean, if we can use Seekers, we're probably going to win for the most part. So let's do one more before we sign off. And let's just see. I love this when it's up in the air, what the best attack strategy is. So this guy doesn't have shock launchers. Shock launchers are going to be the biggest deterrent for Seekers. And he actually doesn't have, he's got a lot of splash in that center over there. But other than that, I think we can kind of pick this apart pretty well. So let's throw a Bullet. Let's try to get him way down there if we can. Let's go barrage, and I'm actually gonna throw one along this wall, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So we'll get an early shock here on this flamethrower, just so we don't have to smoke or take too much damage. And let's go like this. Now you see he barely has any splash damage here on the right. So we're going to get some nice taunts in here. And let's go smoke there. Now Bullet's done. So we got to make sure that these Seekers can get this engine And that could be... we're going to have to bring them around. We're going to have to bring them around. I don't know if we're going to have enough GB to do this. I didn't think those other Seekers were going to fail. The Shock Blasters... I've only got like 2 left. So we got to hope that the other guy fails. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You know, it's tough. It's not guaranteed. So we got to retreat early. Let's spectate here. Let's see if what he's doing. What is he doing? No, looks like he's gonna be fine. But that's the gamble, right? Oh, is he gonna be fine? I don't know. No, he's not. Boom! There it is, guys. There it is. So, a couple. That was definitely a lucky win because he was using Heavies and Zukas. So, we definitely should have lost that one. But hey, we'll take it. We'll take it when they come. Because like I said, it's not really an effective time for us to be pushing at the moment. But yeah. So that's the Chicken's plan. I want to go back. I want to make sure, don't skip rocket launchers, guys. I think they're really going to come into play towards the end of the season, even if they're not super effective right now. I think it's important to unlock them before progressing too far forward, you know, where you get to a point where it's like, you know, you're right at cryo bombers, and then that gets delayed because you've got rocket launchers. So let me know what you guys think of that down below in that comment section, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to use the code Chicken in the shop if you haven't already. And yeah, that's going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. And we'll see you next one, guys. Chicken out. Back.